And I'm going to share my screen here. I just need to get this set up really quick. Okay, so I'm going to do just a quick recognition. This is our current Success Club update. So way to go, guys. We still have a week left to lock in Success Club. If you guys had any quick recognition, we could do that. And then I just have a couple updates and reminders of groups coming up and launches. So if you guys want to unmute yourself, do a couple recognition, and then we will get to our guest speaker.
I'll start with a life shout out for Jocelyn. I don't know if she's on here, but in case you missed it, she got engaged this weekend, so super exciting. Also want to shout out Brooke, who has reclaimed her diamond as of this Thursday, and Paige, who has reclaimed her emerald as of this Thursday.
I'll go next. I want to shout out Chloe. She's a brand new coach, and this is her first team call, so welcome.
I want to shout out Sarah, who's halfway to Emerald. She's so close to hitting Emerald. And she's also been very consistent with her stories and just crushing it every day. I also want to shout out, I don't think she's on here, but Taryn, her and I have been doing like a 60-day hard, and we're already through week 1, and she's crushing it, and I'm really proud for her to have like really recommitted to all of that. So
I'm going to do another shout out now that she's here. Shout out to Shay, who is back on the wagon in her routine and is killing it.
I'm going to jump off of that and shout out Sophie, who she is on this call tonight again. She's been struggling a little bit in school, but she is coming back with more fire than ever. So super excited to see you again.
I'll go next. I want to shout out Amber for never giving up on me and for believing in me. I took a little break off, but she'd always message me and be like, hey, I miss you, like come back. So thank you, Amber, for always believing in me. And it's hard for me to believe in myself.
I want to shout out Jose for her first team call.
I have a couple shout outs. I want to shout out Lauren Harvey, who signed up a PC this week, and she was super excited about that. So way to go, Lauren. Also shout out to Audrey, who is building her spouse account to Diamond, and it is 2 times Emerald. Am I right, Audrey? And then Alicia actually is building her second CBC, and that is also 2 times Emerald. I also chatted with Kira today, who has been back in the game, and she has huge goals. So I just wanted to shout Kira out because she's been showing up, even though she can't even work out right now. So proud of you. Okay, I am just going to go right to our upcoming dates and reminders. So the last lap push group, just a reminder, for Emerald and SC5 by October 31st. The group is already open. There are people in there already. It does kick off on the 28th. We have some awesome speakers coming this week. And remember the opportunity to win a mixed bike. All of the information will be in that group. And we did go live this past week as well to share more about it if you weren't able to watch it. Final week of Team Cup, so making sure you're rallying together with your teams, doing power hours, doing whatever you can to lock in those goals together. Peppermint Mocha Shakeology launching November 2nd. If you have never tried it, it is actually one of my favorites. I am so excited for it. And then a reminder of our diamond retreat that we chatted about a couple weeks ago. So it'll be in Mont Tremblant in 2022, February 10th to 13th. So basically you just need to be a paid diamond for 6 weeks or until December 31st. So you have until then to lock that in. And then tonight, our guest speaker. So I'm going to get over to her because she's been waiting patiently. So Marie, I'm going to actually share a little bit about her. So basically her topic tonight is really just talking about how to find joy in the hard seasons of your business. I feel like a lot of us can struggle with that. So I feel like that's an awesome topic for us to hear tonight. So she's been a coach since 2015, so just a year longer than me. She's a lifetime 7-star diamond coach and has enjoyed both elite and premier titles with Beachbody. Her team, Boomerang Wellness, was founded on the idea of what you put out, you get back from life. Marie is passionate about teaching women how to enjoy the process and live more in their flow. She hosts the Live on Purpose podcast and has online programs, meditations, journals available to support women in their well-being. So I'm super excited to hear from you, Marie, and I will let you take the stage.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Shauna. Can you guys hear me okay? Yeah, wonderful. Okay, I promise I didn't just smoke a pack of cigarettes. I'm just coming off a head cold, so excuse my raspy voice. I'm gonna just go with like club singer here, so you're welcome in advance. I am super into intentional living, breathwork, meditation, and that kind of thing. So I always like to start any kind of workshop or team call or anything with a couple of deep breaths. So if you are holding something, put it down, drop your phone, your pen, your glass of whatever, and could you just put your hands on your lap, put your feet on the floor, or if you're on a bed, that's fine. Just get comfortable and just take a deep breath in through your nose and fill your belly with air. And on the exhale, I want you to sigh it out audibly. We can do better. Deep inhale in through the nose, fill your whole belly with air. And let the day go audibly. One more. Deep inhale into your nose. And audibly let it out your mouth. Okay, you're muted, so we can't have a conversation, but with the show of hands, do you feel a little better than you did 30 seconds ago? Okay, that was 3 breaths. They're free. They are always available to you between this space and this space. And, if we could just get a little bit more intentional with taking moments like that throughout the day for ourselves, we would feel so much better. So just give me a show of hands or even in the chat if you're feeling stressed out or overwhelmed or anxious right now, or any of the spectrum of emotions. If you're a person in the world right now, you're probably feeling some kind of way. So I get to talk to you tonight about finding joy and success when life feels hard. And I feel like right now, for a lot of people in many different capacities, but for every person, life feels hard. And it doesn't even have to do with the pandemic, that aside, all of the stuff that comes with that aside, life gets challenging. That's part of it. If it was easy and simple and, static, it would be boring. So good for us. I'm so excited for us that we get to have the full spectrum of experience, and like you can't have dark without light. So too, you can't have bliss and joy and love without experiencing sadness and isolation and loneliness and those emotions as well, and those experiences. So we're grateful for all of it. We need both to have any of them. So I am going to ask you to write some things down as I talk tonight. I like being interactive. I'm a retired high school teacher, but I really don't want this to be another one of those things where you're just like, cool, let's listen to Marie. Let's see what kind of wisdom she can share. And then close the team call, go watch Sex Education on Netflix, and peace. Thank you so much, Monday night. No, is that just me? I'm just really into that show right now. Okay. I don't want this to be that. I want this to be you are engaging throughout, but you're engaging not just with me. Like, I don't matter in this, okay? I'm going to ask you some very specific questions. And if you have a journal or a piece of paper and a pen in front of you, or even if you do it digitally on your phone, that's fine. I want you to self-reflect while I'm talking. I want you to write down the things that come up for you that are meaningful to you while I'm talking so that you can implement them immediately and remind yourself of them over the next few days. When life happens and tomorrow you go back to your job and your, responsibilities in your life and you're like, what did she say on that call last night? That one part kind of spoke to me, but I can't really remember. Okay. I am an avid journaler. Is anybody else as obsessive about journaling as I am? Like morning, evening, all the time. I'm the person who, if you come to any of my team calls, workshops, anything, I'm going to make you journal. Because it is the quickest form of self-realization and self-awareness that you have. But so many of us don't allow ourselves to even put pen to paper because we are judging ourselves so intensely that we don't even let ourselves write the truth of what is pen to paper. Do you resonate with that at all? Yeah. Okay. I want you to write down in your journal 2 questions. The first question is, are you seeing the results that you want right now? Are you seeing the results that you want right now? The second question is, when you get stressed, overwhelmed, sad, etc., that spectrum of emotions, do you avoid or do you overwork? When you get sad, stressed, overwhelmed, etc., do you avoid or do you overwork? And I'm just going to play a song for like 2 minutes. I want you to just answer those 2 questions. And then as you've answered them, I want you to pop your responses into the chat. We're going to talk about it for a second.
Please let me feel inner peace from my center at the center.
Awesome.
Please let me feel inner peace from my center at the center of me.
If you're a very efficient person and you you answered the question, are you seeing results that you want right now with no? Please elaborate for yourself. Tell me options that you are that person. No shame, but let's go a little deeper. And you can even answer yourself, to yourself as well. If you're not seeing the results that you want right now, why? What is the thing that you think is causing you to not see the results you want? We'll give it 1 more minute, and then I would love to see some of them in the chat, and I'm going to talk about them.
Please let me feel inner peace from my center.
All right, if you have something written on paper, I would love to know in the chat. Just number 1, let's answer. Are you seeing the results you want right now? And this is a safe space. This is not like a judgment-free zone, okay? So are you seeing the results that you want right now? It doesn't have to be in business, even like in your life. Are you seeing the results that you would like? Nope, I'm not seeing the results I want to right now. I'm eating to cope with the uncertainty and stress of my life and not putting myself first. No, love it. Thank you for the honesty. Keep them coming. Are you seeing the results that you want right now? And also, this is just information. This is not like, open up and feel badly about it. It's just information. No, I'm not seeing the results I want right now. I'm not getting lots of interested people. Lots of people financially are struggling, not willing to make the time for themselves. When I feel all the emotions, I overwork to avoid the emotions. No, I'm not. I know I'm capable of so much more. Business, no. Mental health, yes. Good for you. Physical, yes and no. Working on it. Education, yes. No, no, no. I've been stressed and overworked. Okay, are you seeing a pattern? I'm really grateful that I get to talk to you tonight because I have a feeling by the time we're finished, if you lean into this conversation and you take from me whatever, resonates and you leave the rest, I really do think that it's going to help. Other people said, not as much as I'd like. I forgot my why for a while. No, I know that I can make better use of my time. No, super stressed, lots of personal stuff going on. Nope, super stressed, overwhelmed, not 100%. Nope, nope, nope. Okay. Can we just take one more big, deep breath in through your nose and fill your belly with air? And none of this like bogus shallow breathing. So many of us go, we're so habitually shallow breathers. Like actually allow your belly to soften. What a revolutionary thing, right? Like stop sucking it in, stop contracting it. Allow your belly to soften and take a deep breath in through your nose and fill your whole belly with air. And let it go. And then on the next one, I want you to imagine that all that stress and all that overwhelm and all that bullshit that you're holding on inside, you're breathing it in and push it out your mouth. Okay. I just want to let you know that right now, if you're not seeing the success in your life, in your business, in your nutrition, in your fitness, in your personal results, in your friendships, etc., if you're not seeing the success that you want right now, number one, it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility to do something about. And I also want to validate you and just say, could we just take a couple deep breaths as we're listening? Because so many of us for so long now have just been clenching. And all I'm reading in this chat is my nervous system is on overdrive and I feel like I'm going to explode. Does that resonate with you? When we just keep going and pretend like nothing's wrong and we don't dive into the pieces that need our attention, eventually we combust. Like you're not going to drive a vehicle if you know that your vehicle desperately needs an oil change or is, has a belt with a chip in it or a part is completely rusted off. You're not going to keep driving it. You will damage the rest of the vehicle and eventually your vehicle will break down. And you are so much more important than a vehicle. So it's really, really important that we pay attention to how we are feeling and how we're being. Okay? Our being determines our doing. I really want you to get this one. Our being determines our doing. So what does that mean? If I am being stressed out, overwhelmed, anxious, worked up, reactive, on edge all the time, if that's how I'm being, then what do you think I'm doing? Well, as you see in the chat and in your journal, I'm either avoiding and I'm procrastinating and I'm watching a lot of Netflix and I'm binge eating a lot or I'm not eating a lot or I'm, boozing or going for cannabis or whatever. Or on the other side of the spectrum, I'm overworking. I'm not spending quality time with my family. I'm not allowing myself to rest and relax. Don't remember the last time I took a nap. Allowed myself to sleep in, allowed myself to have a day off. Is this resonating with you? Our being determines our doing. And we are emotional creatures, so if we just try to pretend like everything is fine and we just keep doing the activities while we're being stressed out, overwhelmed, anxious, sad, et cetera, it doesn't work. And eventually we, fall back on whatever the easiest habit is. Because when life gets hard, we default to the easiest habits. When life gets hard, we default to the easiest habits. So what are your easiest habits? What are the things, that come super easily to you? Think about brushing your teeth. You don't think about it if you're a person that brushes your teeth. I mean, I do hope that you do that. If you haven't, please start. Okay. But when you're driving somewhere that's so familiar, right? And you almost can like shut off and then your subconscious takes over and it drives you to that place. You know what I'm talking about? And you get there and you're like, oh my God, like, was that safe? Because I don't feel like I was very safe. I don't even remember getting from this place to this place, but somehow I'm here and I was thinking about everything else. That's your autopilot. You have autopilot for so many things. And all autopilot is is just habituation of thought, habituation of belief, habituation of doing. You've tied your shoelaces enough times, right? The repetition of it, that you do it without even thinking about it. You've driven that route from your parents' house to wherever so many times that you don't even think about it, you just do it. If you've been Beachbody coaching for a long time and you've shown up, your workouts now are mostly automatic. You don't even think about it. You're like, yeah, I just show up and I press play. Cool. There's no problem here. But at the beginning, and especially if you're new right now, you probably resonate with this. When you first start, how does it feel? It's hard because you are overriding old, easier habits, old, easier thoughts. Okay, I'm going to give you a visual because I'm a very visual person, and my hope is that some of you are too. Close your eyes for a second. I want you to just imagine that you are standing at the edge of a field. Okay, and the field is just this really beautiful tall grass. Nobody's around, it's just you. It's a really warm day. And your only task for this day is to get from this side of the field where you are to the other side of the field. And so you think to yourself, I could literally go any which way I want. I could go left, I could zig right, I could kind of do a bit of a loop, I could go straight through. And so you make your way through this grass. It's not really that easy, but you eventually get to the other side. Wonderful. Okay, so the next day, you're at the edge of this grass again. And your only task for the day is to get from this side of the grass to the other edge of the field. And so you go, okay, there's not really a path. Like there's some broken, pieces here and there. So I'll kind of go this way. And so you go about the same way you went the day before because you can kind of see a bit of a path through. The third day, you're at the edge of the grass and you're looking out and okay, my only task for today is to get from this side of the grass to the other edge of the field. Well, at this point, the grass is trampled and you can kind of see a bit of a path. And so you actually make your way down that path faster than you did the other 2 previous days. On the 4th day, you can basically jog down the path. On the 5th day, if you really wanted to, you could walk that path with your eyes closed. What's happening here? This is called neuroplasticity. This is quite literally how your brain works. Science used to think that our brains were hardwired, that we couldn't change it. And now they know for certain that our brains are malleable and we can rewire our brains. And how do you rewire your brain? With repetition. But like I said, when life gets hard, we default to our easiest habits. And so that's why when you start a new habit, you're like, I'd really like to do Sober October. I'd really like to stop scrolling social media because it makes me feel like a bag of crap. I'd really like to do my business activity tracker first thing in the morning instead of leaving it until night when it sucks. Any of these things. That's why in the beginning, it feels really hard because you were trying to override these old habitual things, these old habitual beliefs and actions, thoughts and feelings that you have done maybe for years. Does this resonate with you? Yeah. Okay. So what are some of the higher self habits that you would choose if you could? What are some of the things that would serve you? I'm not talking about the things that you choose when you're stressed out, when you're sad, when you've had a long day and you really just want a glass of wine. I'm not talking about coping mechanisms. We'll call those ones self-comforts. And for the record, there's nothing wrong with them. Self-comfort is beautiful and wonderful. There's a time and a place for it, definitely. But I'm talking about like true self-care. What are some of the things that you do for you when you feel stressed out that would serve you? I'm going to give you a minute to journal about it because I feel like a lot of people are thinking right now and I'm seeing your eyeballs. You're all very beautiful, by the way. But I'm going to give you a minute and I just want you to write down a little list. What are the things that my higher self, the woman that I am becoming, okay, the person that I'm stepping into, what are the things that she would do daily because she knows that they serve her? She knows that they make her feel really good and allow her to get on with the rest of the tasks easily. I'm just gonna give you a minute. Oh, love it, Danielle, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, if you wanna put it in the chat, you're more than welcome to, if you're not a journaling person.
Stand
just going to share some of Danielle's examples as you're writing. Journal, bath, listening to music, time alone to breathe, walk in nature, meditate, gratitude, meditation. I'm just going to give you a minute. For the record, some of the things that your higher self would choose would also be like saying no, setting boundaries, taking things off your plate. Okay, beautiful. I'm going to read some of these as you finish up your list. If you want to just pop it in the chat. Time off my phone and social media, read, go for a walk, shower, listen to music, dance it out. I love that one. Clean my room, put my phone on do not disturb. If you need ideas for beautiful self-care, take a screenshot of the chat right now. Proper sleep, planning, routine, reading, time in nature, pressing play, not checking my phone, reading my vision, walking outside, unplugging, reading, working out, listening to a podcast, talking to a friend, taking a bath, taking my dog for a walk, starting my day without my phone, set my limits and stick to them. These are beautiful. These are beautiful. I'm not going to ask you to answer it in the chat or anything, but just for yourself, be so honest. How frequently are you participating in these activities that you've put in the chat? Because it's one thing to write them down and know that these are good for you and that you love doing these and they would make you feel good. And it's a whole other ballgame to actively implement them every single day because you are so freaking worthy. Some of the other ones are not feeling obligated to go out with friends when I need to recharge. Yep, saying no. Morning routine, essential, for sure, me too. Quality sleep, being more present with friends and family, proper rest, planning ahead, boundaries, not snoozing my alarm. These are wonderful. So I'm going to go back to what I said, prior. Some of the like self-comforts that we go to, I'm talking about like fast food or a bag of chips or binging on Netflix or wine or whatever, these like treat things. And there is nothing wrong with self-comforts. They're beautiful. There's definitely a time and a place for self-comforts. If you're not enjoying self-comforts, you are restricting yourself. And if you're restricting yourself, eventually you're going to binge because we are emotional creatures. And if you swing that pendulum too far right, I know you know what I'm talking about. I can see lots of smiles right now. I know I'm not alone in this. This was my past as well. But you want to participate in self-care items, like all the things in the chat, more often than you're participating in self-comfort. Because here's what happens if it switches and you're participating in self-comfort more often than self-care. Well, you're just perpetuating a cycle of actively feeling okay for a moment and then feeling shitty. And then it's a vicious cycle. And then you're left at the end of the month and you're like, why does everything feel so hard? I feel so terrible. I can't get a break. I'm so stressed out. I had 3 people return challenge packs. What the heck? It's the 29th. I need to hit Success Club. I'm arguing with my partner. I'm struggling financially, whatever your stuff is. When you take care of you, everything else follows. And it took me a really long time to learn this. And I know a lot of you don't know my personal story, and I didn't want to, start with lots of that because I wanted to just kind of dive into this. And I feel like it's really important just to kind of give you some of these tips and tools. But I do want to share a really quick story. In 2019, so not that long ago, in 2019, I had the most challenging year in a long time. Our team hit 5-star, we hit elite. I got a concussion, a pretty severe brain injury. I was so stressed out during qualifications that I gave myself strep throat and a bladder infection. My body was like, hey lady, this is enough. And then at the end of 2019, I found myself having surgery to have precancerous cells removed from my cervix. And I was like, what the heck? I know how to do everything. I read PD. I meditate, I work out, I drink Shakeology. Like, why is this happening? Why do I feel so terrible? You know, I'm successful. I'm doing the things. I'm checking the boxes. Like something's not working. And I had to get really honest with myself. That's a really hard thing to do because we are so good at avoiding. We have been programmed to just shove that right down until it eventually comes up and you implode. You know, I had to get really, really honest with myself and ask myself, is how you're acting right now and how you're showing up, is that a solid long-term plan for you to enjoy a fulfilling life? For you to feel good? You know, and I remember preparing for that surgery, I did a lot of holistic methods, and one of which was preparing mentally. And one of the books that I listened to was Gabby Bernstein's Super Attractor book. I really love that book. And she has a chapter in that book called It's Good to Feel Good. And if any of you have seen any of my stuff on social media, it's pretty well in every single post. My whole mantra is, it's good to feel good. Because here's what I learned when I listened to that book. It just clicked for me. You know, I spent a lifetime putting other people first. I spent a lifetime being a people pleaser. And I had this like intense Catholic upbringing. So there's a whole other storm with that as well. But I just put everybody first. I put everything first. And then I went into teaching and I was like, okay, all my students come first. All my athletes come first. The parents come first. And at the end of the day, I had nothing left. And I would get home and I would just weep. And Brandon, my sweet husband, would be like, here's wine. I don't know. I love you so much. And that's how I was coping. And so then fast forward to 2019 when this happened, I just remember thinking, okay, no. My life is way too precious and way too short for me to continue on like this. I deserve to feel good. I know it's good to feel good. And in fact, it's actually selfish of me not to show up for myself, because when I don't show up for myself, I don't show up for anybody else. When I don't show up for myself, I have shitty energy and I'm taking that into my life, and that is so irresponsible. And I literally changed how I thought about self-care and how I thought about discipline and how I thought about treating myself well first before I go about my day. Because I now recognize and firmly believe, and I really hope you hear this, that when you feel better, you do better. When you feel better, you show up better in every category. When you feel better, success is easy. Because most of success is what? I just want to be happy. I just want to feel good. And so then when you're feeling good and everything is flowing and you show up better, you're doing better, you're not as exhausted, you're not as stressed out, you're not as overworked or burnt out, because you're actually enjoying what you're doing. That's the whole point. The point is not to get to the end. And it's like, okay, I made it to the end destination. I hit a $1 billion star diamond and I made $17 million. And okay, now what? Like at the end, you die. So stop rushing to the end. Enjoy the freaking process. And the process is what? It's right now. It's literally right now, today. Did you enjoy today? And if you didn't enjoy today, can you enjoy tomorrow? Can you commit to yourself right now? Okay, today was kind of, let's just put that over there. But tomorrow, I'm waking up and the sun is rising. And you know what? Tomorrow I'm committed to myself. I'm committed to feeling good, because I know that when I feel good, I do better. And when you feel good, when you feel happy, when you feel excited about something, you are naturally successful. I'm going to go on a limb and say that some of you are not seeing the success in your life and specifically in your business right now because you're not excited about what you're doing. And you've got the same old, what used to work on repeat, and you're like, okay, like I've always hosted this ongoing group and I've always done it this way, but it kind of feels a little bit stale right now. And sending invites feels like pulling teeth, and posting on social media, you're like, I just don't even want to be on this app anymore. I'm sick of it. Do you resonate with that at all? I know you do because I am also feeling that. And if I feel it, I know I'm not alone. So we have to change that. If your being determines your doing, right, that we talked about. And when I'm talking about being, I'm talking about like how you feel, like what you're embodying. Right now, I'm being passionate and a little bit tough love because I freaking love you and you are worth it. You are worth feeling good. So if your being determines your doing, then we need to be success and joy before you even do the things. This might be far out there, so just be with me for a second. You need to be the person who has that now, and then that will lead you to doing the things that will actually create that thing in your life. Does that make sense? Okay. You can change your state and you can change your being so quickly, so dramatically. I'm going to share with you an activity. It's one of my absolute favorites. I call it my light me up list. If I ever want to pick myself up out of the gutter of sadness and depression and helplessness, despair, boredom, whatever, I'm like, okay, Marie, let's get lit. Let's make a list. Let's do it. So this is a list I'm going to ask you to make right now. I'm going to ask you to write down in your journal, on your piece of paper, wherever, as many things as possible in like 2 minutes that light you up, that make you happy from the inside out. I'm going to play a song. We're going to go for it. And then we're going to talk about it. Okay, I would love for any of you who are done writing your light me up list, let's blow up the chat with the things that light you up. Please, for the love of all things good, spill it into the chat and I'm going to read them out. Gus. I don't know who Gus is, but I freaking love him. Dogs. Love it. Sunshine. Walking in the woods. My dogs. My hot tub. Coffee. Dancing. Being with friends. My sister. Concerts. Dancing. Love you. Lots of dancers. My dog. Family. Dogs. Spending time with my hubby. Travel. Shopping. Good food. Our dogs. Singing songs. Music. Family time. Lemon energize. Hallelujah. Riker. My 3-year-old son. Camping. My kids. This is amazing. I can't even go as fast as you guys are going. Sports. Playing guitar. Sunrises. Do you know what lights me up? Strung lights. When people have strung lights on their pergola in their backyard, I love it so much. Painting, me too. Team Wildfire, love it. The idea that I can have a different life. Yep, my puppies, sunshine. Like, keep it simple too. Like, a really good vegan vanilla Shakeology with frozen blueberries. Like, that just hits. you know, or like the day you get groceries and you put your groceries in your fridge, the feeling of abundance when you have food in your fridge. Oh, love it. Or when you vacuum, you know, when you vacuum and you get those lines on the carpet and it just looks so fresh, you don't even want to walk on it. That lights me up. I don't know. I really enjoy it. Christmas songs. Heck yes. I don't know when it's too early to listen to Christmas songs, but I'm about to get on that train real quick. A clean room, fresh farm clothes from the dryer. Halloween, absolutely. The vacuum floor pattern. Okay. Can you guys can you look at the like thumbnails here? Look at the screen. Did you see how many more, even if it's subtle, like how many more smiles there are on the screen than there were previous? We didn't go anywhere. We actually didn't do anything. You didn't do any of those things. You didn't go camping or make a cup of coffee or put on your favorite music or dance in your living room. And yet, why do you all of a sudden feel better than you did a few seconds ago? Because being is here first. That's what they mean when they say it's 95% mindset and 5% strategy. Your mindset is just your state of being. And your state of being is 100% up to you. It has nothing to do with the external environment or outside circumstances. How do I know this? Because we just did this on this call. We took 3 deep breaths and we altered our state of being. We relaxed a little bit. We wrote down some things that brought us joy and we elevated our state of being a little bit. I have goosebumps right now because I get so excited when people talk about things that light them up. I just elevated my state of being. I didn't even do the activity. And I feel good being in your energy. Can you put in the chat if this is resonating with you? Please, I would really love to know. Okay, good. So it's 6:14. We have a little bit of, do I have a little bit of time still? Shauna, is that okay? Yeah, okay. I have one more journal question for you, and then I would love to guide you through a 5-minute meditation if you're open to it. Yeah? Okay. I feel like for you guys in the East Coast, it's 8:15 right now, so it's like getting near bedtime probably, or for you night owls, you're just getting your second wind, I don't know. So one more journal question for you. This is the last one. It's very personal. It has nothing to do with your Instagram or who you follow or who you compare yourself to. Okay, this is just you. What do I want? And what does success mean to me? What do I want? And what does success mean to me? I'm going to play one more song. I'll be right back. Okay, as you guys are finishing that up and writing down, what do I want and what does success mean for me? I want to just challenge you to go a little bit deeper. You know, if for you success is good mental and physical health, like Kaylee has mentioned, which is beautiful, so worthwhile, of course. But what does that look like? What does good mental and physical health look like for you? It's different for everybody, right? For the person who has issues with their gut, with IBS, good health for them looks like I want to be regular and not have gut attacks. For the person with anxiety issues, it's like I don't want to have any panic attacks today. You know, I want to feel grounded in my body. So what does good mental and physical health mean to you? Or whatever you wrote down for what success looks like for you or means to you, get a little bit more clear. I think sometimes when we do these activities, we kind of like glaze over. We answer the question and we just do it as if it's like a school test, right? This is not a school test. You're not being graded on this. This is you with you. So be honest with yourself. I'll give you about 30 seconds. All right. You don't have to share specifically what success means for you. It's so different for everyone. But I really want to just suffice it to say that whatever success means for you and whatever you want out of your one wild and precious life is valid, period. And now that takes off any pressure to compare yourself to Sarah or Susie or Dominique on Instagram, you know, or on your team page or anything, because you are literally, you're the only you. You're the one who's living your life, and your success is going to look and feel different than somebody else's. Can you please give me a yes, I understand, head nod or something? I don't know why I just resorted to that. Oh man. Well, the head cold might have taken some brain cells. Okay. Before we dive into the meditation, which is going to have to do with your success, and I really just want to like kind of bring everything that we talked about home in that, I would love to know in the chat before we do that, what was maybe one takeaway that you had or one thing that you're going to implement moving forward that you thought about during this call, that you heard during this call, that you were like, oh crap, like that. Yes, that thing. What's your one takeaway from tonight? Light me up list when I'm feeling down. When you feel better, you do better. Yeah, writing stuff down that lights you up. Cool. I'm glad that was well received. Light me up list. It's so impactful, isn't it? And it's so quick. The rewiring of our brain and take a different path, even though it's hard. Participate in more self-care actions and self-comfort. Yep. Implement more of my higher self habits. To be accepting with the life I'm blessed with, do what sets my soul on fire. Remember to feel good during the process. Love the light me up list. Such an amazing reminder of some things we tend to forget. Yeah. When you take care of yourself, everything else follows. This is very sneaky. You notice that I didn't mention gratitude once, but really what we're doing is we're putting ourselves into a state of gratitude when we're doing a light me up list, right? It's like, these are the things that I love and appreciate and feel grateful for. And then what happens when you write that list? You raise your vibration. I don't know if anybody's familiar with Abraham Hicks at all. Do you guys know their work? Some? So yeah, it's great. So I really do recommend a book called Ask and It Is Given. And in this book, they talk about the emotional vibrational scale, okay, or your emotional GPS. And at the very bottom of the emotional vibrational scale, like when you feel the lowest, I know you know what this feels like. It's like heaviness in your body. It's desperate, it's helpless, it's depression, it's sadness, it's fear, anxiety. Those feel physically heavy in your body, right? It's like mud, it feels like stuck. And then as you move up this emotional scale, you move up towards, you know, even like anger is higher than sadness. Boredom is higher than anger. Optimism, hope, laughter, joy, love, bliss, ecstasy, like you move up this scale, right? And we can't expect ourselves to go from depressed with IBS to joy in one fell swoop. We can't expect that. But can you think, you know, some better thoughts, and can you do some things each day from that list that lights you up, or from that higher self habits list, the self-care list. Can you implement some of that each day in order to take yourself up that scale, so that you're not riding it all the way up and all the way down all the time? Or if you're like most people right now, you're kind of riding the lower half of that scale. Self-care has never been more important than right now. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, Gabby Bernstein totally did. She's a avid Abraham Hicks reader also, which is beautiful. Okay, I don't want to keep you too long, so I want to make sure that we do the little meditation. If you have any questions or anything, pop them in the chat right now before we do this, because once we do the little meditation, I want you to be able to kind of, you know, shut your computer off and do some more journaling if you'd like. But if you have any questions or anything like that, pop them in the chat. Otherwise, get comfy. Put your feet on the floor. Put your pen down. Put your phone down. Stretch your arms out. Oh, if you're sitting on your bed or laying in your bed, that's all good. Just be comfortable right now. And everybody's gonna have their eyes closed, so nobody's watching you or anything. So you don't have to worry about that. Okay, let's put some music on for this. Can you hear that okay? Yeah? Okay. I want you to close your eyes and put your palms on your lap. You can face them down or face them up. Put your feet on the floor. Just allow yourself to sink into the chair or the seat, wherever you are. Get comfortable. Just going to take a deep breath in through your nose. Fill your entire belly with air. And sigh out your mouth. Let's take another deep breath in like that. And just let the day go. And as you breathe in a rhythm that feels good for you, I just want you to listen to my voice. You don't have to be anywhere other than right here. This will only be a couple of minutes. And once we're finished, you can go back to whatever it is you were thinking about before. But for right now, let's just be here. You're going to inhale through your nose and fill your belly with air. And on this one, I want you to just focus on the space between your eyes. You're going to inhale, soften, and exhale, relax. And now your jaw. Inhale, soften. Exhale, relax. Move down to your shoulders. Inhale, soften. Exhale, relax. And we're going to move towards the heart. Inhale, soften. Exhale, relax. Move down the arms and into the belly. Inhale, soften. Exhale, relax. Into your hips and pelvis. Inhale, soften. Exhale, relax. Move all the way down the legs to the feet. Inhale, soften. Exhale, relax. Just keep breathing here. And if there's any space that feels tense or tight, just direct a breath or two there and inhale, soften. Exhale, relax. I want you to imagine that you are stepping into an elevator. And as I count down from 10, the elevator goes down to 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the doors slide open, and you're in your dream life. You're in your goal. You did it. You made it. You did the thing, and now you're here. What are you wearing? Look down at your feet. Are you wearing shoes? Are you barefoot on the sand? Look around. Who are you with? Where are you? Enjoy this. Can you feel a breeze? Maybe you're inside. How do you feel now that you're here? I want you to look around just one more time and take a deep breath, soak it all up. And we're going to go back to the elevator, but you know that you're coming back for this. And you know that it's available to you soon. When you step into the elevator, you have a big smile on your face. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You can just take some deep breaths, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Maybe you want to stretch. And when you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes. And welcome back. So it's 6:30. Oh, here, 8:30 there, sorry. And I would suggest if something came up for you that was surprising or moving, I would take some time after this call and I would journal about it. And then starting tomorrow, promise me, pinky swear, let's see your pinkies, that you will begin to implement some of the things from your self-care higher self list as well as the light me up list. Pinky swear. Thank you so much for having me on your call. I hope that it was helpful. And if nothing else, now you know that you're not alone in your feelings. It's totally normal. And you have some new tools that you can use moving forward to feel better.
Thank you so much. That was so beautiful. Great way to end our Monday night. And thanks for taking the time, like literally an hour of your time to speak to us. I know that was helpful for a lot of us. Like my journal is full. So again, thank you so much and have a good night, everyone.
You too. Thanks for having me.